Whoopsie. Hey, Clay Buddies. Amy the Potter. And I've been going live a lot lately on my own page and every once in a while here. Usually I go live on my personal page and I share it here. But I thought I would do this tonight because I just went live on my own page and I thought the sound was terrible. So hopefully it's better, and I would super appreciate direction for like if you think I should move the camera somewhere else. Nobody's here, so I shouldn't say that yet. Usually I wind up saying that like 5 or 10 times in a video. Oh, and I think I can, oh, did it die? Did you die? Where'd you go? Oh well. Okay, well just let me know. Nobody's here, so talking to nobody. At least I think. It's hard to tell. I think I'll be here for at least another hour, if not more. Oh, hi. Hi, Clay Buddies. Hanging out in my studio in Eugene, Oregon. So cold out today. So cold in my studio. It's like finally warmed up. And I have about, I don't know, 40 bowls to trim. So let me know if anything is impeding your view, or if it would be better to have the camera doing something different. And hopefully I'll get to see what you say. I don't see the normal place where comments show up. But maybe if somebody says something, I'll see it. Don't be shy. I'm happy to talk about my process and hi. Okay. I like to trim them when they're so hard. Like if you squeeze it, it doesn't move at all. That's the best. That's perfect for me for trimming with a rib. And I have a pretty standard pattern that I do where I start with this tool on the outside, even it out, and then I use this part for the foot. Then I go down with this side with that sharp part and cut the foot in. And then I bend it and hold it like that. Shave off the bulk of the clay that I'll be taking off during the trimming right here. That's most of it right there. Pretty much it. Then I turn it around and use the sharp part right here to cut the foot again, the inside of the foot, down to match this depth. And then if it's dry enough, I can do this part with this rib too. So in the best case scenario of ideal dryness, I only need the standard trimming tool to round out the foot and maybe finish off this bottom part. And it goes by, I'd say, twice as fast as using a trimming tool, at least. Which maybe is not that important if you're just trimming a couple of bowls, but if you're trimming 100, it makes a huge difference. So this is where I use my trimming tool, and I just round the foot. And that's pretty much it. Clean it up. Maybe cut the foot just a little bit more there for a nice sharp edge. I like to have a slight angle to my foot here so I can grab it like that when I glaze it. All right. Sign it, and I always write the year. And that's been really awesome over the years to do that, to be able to track pots and when they were made, and it's fun for customers. Some of them don't realize that I have the year on the bottom. So if they bring me back a pot, I'm usually checking that. Let's see here. I always look for the driest possible bowl. Kind of makes sense. And oh, great. Hi, Mark. Now I can see somebody. Suddenly it's showing me Mark's names. I've been doing this for a few hours. And I think, well, maybe yeah. I probably have a couple more. Some of my bowls aren't even flipped yet, so those won't be trimmed until tomorrow. Let me know if you want me to talk about what I'm doing, or because I just talked about it. So for anybody who watches the video after the fact, I just keep like a broken record, but I'm happy to entertain anybody who happens to be present. I am at your service. I'm at your trimming service. This one's a little on the soft side, so I'm going to use the trimming tool for this whole inside of the foot, unfortunately. The nice thing about the trimming tool, though, is that it makes those really pretty curly cues sometimes. I've been harvesting them today when I can get a really nice one. I'm going to bisque them, and I don't know what I'll do with them, but they're just so perfect sometimes. Kind of novel to me right now. This is the first time I've done a big round of trimming in many, many years. All right. Got a little soft. You can see that it's like started to soften there, so that means I am done. D-U-N. And you can also see on the inside that has like a little fold, so I need to take that out. Okay, doesn't have to be perfectly centered for this part. I'm just gonna lay my rib down right on top of that fold. If I can see it, I can't see it somehow. Let's see. Okay, now I can see it. I can even lean the bowl over like this. Really get in there. All right, it's not perfect. Let me see if I can do it just a little bit better. Also, this guy. Okay, let's see if I can do it with my finger actually. Oh. All right, that's about as good as it's gonna get. Good enough for me. You guys remember that Cookie song? C is for cookie. I find myself singing that a lot, probably from Sesame Street. C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. Yeah, these are a little bit still, a little bit on the wet side. I was hoping to get a little Clay Buddies crowd going on over here. I guess they're eating dinner. Or maybe they're in their studios doing work. I feel like when I used to be on Clay Buddies about, 5, 6 years ago, there were 14,000 potters. I remember that very clearly. 14,000 potters. And now, and there was a lot of activity, like a lot. And now there's like almost 48,000 potters. But I don't know, maybe I'm just not tapped in yet, but it seems kind of sleepy to me. How about you guys? What do you think? Maybe I'm shadow banned in Clay Buddies. I'm just not getting the action. There used to be a woman named Stacy who was the admin. I don't know if she's still around, but I haven't heard anything from her. But she used to be really active. Can't remember her last name. Stacy. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. Oh, this one's nice. Everybody's quiet. I wish there was like a little ding when somebody came into the room. Hi. Like they do on Zoom, a little ding. So you knew that somebody was there because it's hard to tell. But I can see now there's some people there. Hi, people. I don't know who you are. It's not telling me that. Okay. Yay. It's so great when it's dry enough to trim it with this rib. One thing I've realized about this blue foam thing is that it has a lot of give. So when I press down, the whole pot actually goes down into the thing. Like the foam goes, like gets pressed down. Which my other, carpet underlayment stuff didn't do that. It was more rigid, I guess, or dense. I don't know that there's any drawback to it, just something that I noticed. Okay. Oh, Rajshri. Rajshri, am I saying that right? Hi. Good to have you. Good to have you in my studio. Just press that bottom down. It gets, when I trim it just a little bit too thin, it gets, what is it? Convex, or let me do it just a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Okay. Just pressing it back out. Okay. Please let me know if there's anything I could do to make your watching experience more enjoyable. Okay, we got these guys. That's pretty hard. This one feels nice. Ooh, this one feels good. Okay, we got some dry ones down here. Great. This one feels really good. So happy I just cleaned my floors, so any of the trimmings that wind up on the floor, I'm going to capture and keep, reclaim. Normally I don't, because my floor can get so kind of full of shoe crud that, oops, that often I get stuff, hair, and like little rocks and who knows what in my dry pieces of clay. Actually, that doesn't matter, dry pieces of clay. But stones, I don't know. I just get all kinds of weird floor stuff in my reclaim sometimes. I'm like, where does that come from? Ooh, that got soft fast. That must be a really thin bottom. Okay. When I throw one that has a really thin bottom, I should have a little like note to self somewhere, like put it in a special place or have a way. Oh yeah, I trimmed right through it, did I? No, I didn't. Okay, I'll push it out from the inside just so I can clean it up. It looks like I trimmed right through it. Flatten it out and get out of here. Not too much touchy-feely with this one. Oh, I'm sorry I joined late. Perhaps you talked about the rib you're using. What kind of rib is it? Thank you for your question. I will show you in a second. Let me just get this part done. I believe it's called a trimming rib. I've used them for years. They're amazing. The pot has to be on the dry side in order to use it, though. You can't use it on a regular leather hard pot. You have to wait until um, it's really pretty dry. Not bone dry, but I'll show you on the next one how I tell, like, what's the ideal. Oops, here we go. Okay, almost lost this one. So, I'm so glad you asked. I love questions. Engagement. Okay, let me just finish this one up. Okay, so here's the rib. It's in my hand now. Now this one is really new. I wish I might have one close by, an old one. They get so chewed up, and I think I separated them all. But anyway, this one is really new. It's shiny and blue, see? Eventually it will be rusty, maybe. This one's, I'm keeping it kind of clean, but it'll get rusty and it'll have it'll have like a little lip right here from using these parts like this. I hold it like this to trim the bowl on the outside. And then I use these pieces and this piece for other things. So I'll walk you through it next time with this next one. But the bowl has to be really nice and dry. Otherwise, it's just a mess. So the way I gauge it, I'll find a really good one. I'm looking for one that when I squeeze it, the clay doesn't move. Like the clay on the foot doesn't move at all. It's like that rigid. Okay, I guess this is maybe this is the best one. Okay, so I'll show you. So here, I'm going to push here. Nothing. It doesn't move at all. This one has a tiny little bit of movement. Unfortunately, I wish it didn't move at all. But like, it is hard, okay? So, here's what we do. First, I'm going to use this part of the rib on the outside. And I'm going to take this off. So right now it's thrown the way that I threw it. It has this little kind of wheat. I'm going to take that off. And just dig right into that whole part. Get that stuff out of there. Okay. This is a little bit on the soft side. Really, like the best is when it's just like completely it won't move. Okay. Then I'm going to use this part, actually like here, on the top. And make that nice and clean. Top or the foot, really. Okay. So now I have a nice clean slate. Just like whoosh, whoosh. Then I'm going to dig down with this piece right here, very nice and sharp. I put my hand right here on the top of the bowl, and I use my finger as a guide right here. And I exhale, and I go down to where I think, I'm a little conservative here, but about where I think my foot's going to be. Then this is where I do the ninja move of curling that rib. Kids, be careful if you try this at home, because this thing is strong and intense, and if you drop it, it's going to go flying and somebody could get hurt. And this is where I take off most of the clay right here with this part of the rib. By bending it, turning it like that, folding it, gives me this great cutting edge. This is the cutting edge rib. Okay, so now that part's done. Now I'm going to use this piece again. I'm going to use my hand here as a guide, and I'm going to come in and kind of like this, pivot down, cut the foot, get the profile, and then dig in to about the same depth as this. And now if this was a little bit drier, I would go straight down with this part of the rib and take this out. But it's too wet, so I can't. So I have to go in with my trimming tool and just do the kind of the classic trimming with the trimming tool. But yeah, the rib, if this pot were dry, this part, like, it goes by so fast. It's probably is twice as fast as trimming with, maybe 3 times as fast as trimming with a regular trimming tool. If I did this whole bowl with a regular trimming tool, oh my God. Maybe 4 times as fast. Now I'm thinking I should try it. I should do a little experiment. There's bigger trimming tools, and I'm sure, like, you get good at using it and you have your style, but I'm a production potter, so I do everything in series, and usually in like series of like 50, especially bowls, 50 or 100 or something. So efficiency really makes a huge difference, doing things with time efficiency. And so that's why I like to teach people, because I've figured a lot of stuff out that you wouldn't necessarily figure out if you were just trimming a bowl or two. I've had to figure things out. And I've been taught, because I've worked with a lot of production potters. So I've been exposed to some amazing teachers. I'm going to just take a little bit more off here because it can take it. Nice thing about a rib is that it doesn't cut through the pot. Not usually, almost never. A trimming tool, it's really easy, I'm sure you know, to cut through the pot with a trimming tool. But the rib, it gives you a feedback, so you know when it's getting thin. And that's it. How was my explanation? How did I do? Cheryl's here! Yay! High engagement, Cheryl. I missed you earlier. I was throwing and I was wondering, where's Cheryl? She would definitely answer my questions. She would definitely be saying something. I get that out of here. Oh, it just went away by itself. I just had to point at it. Not all notifications are the same. Okay. So first, cleaning the whole profile, right? First, I go in from the side, then I clean this foot part, straight down. Always using this hand running on the pot, my left hand, which probably looks like my right hand to you, I'm not sure. So it's my left hand, is running on the pot. I'll upload this one or the other one, whichever one has the best quality, later to YouTube as my PoTcast. And if I do that, I'll reverse the image. Flip the image. That's what they call it, flipping. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to run into the house and pee in a second. Wasn't expecting that. Just came on like really fast. Okay, this one again is too soft for me to use the trimming rib for this foot part, which is the wettest. I have to be very ginger with my feet because I tend to throw very thin bottoms because I don't want to have to do too much trimming. Okay, is everybody ready for a pee break? Oh my God, there's 6 people. Hi, Cheryl. Hi. Ruth is back too. Yay. Yay, Ruth. Hey, Ruth, I don't know if you're listening, but I was wondering if you ever tried that faceted mug. You ever try to throw that faceted mug that I demoed? I think you were the one who said that you were going to go try it. It's a nice bowl. Okay. I will be right back. I can't believe I have a big crowd, but I will be miserable if I don't run and pee. Oh my God, 7 people? Go do something else. Get yourself a snack and come back. I'll be back in a second. Oops. Oh, I lost four people. Let's see who's here. Taryn. Hi. Do you live in Eugene? Taryn. There's a potter in Eugene named Taryn. Let me see here. Ooh, this one's nice and dry. All right. So, if you'd like me to describe what I'm doing, I will do that. But sometimes people have the sound off, so I don't want to just be talking to the wind. So let me know if you have any questions or comments or concerns or questions, comments, concerns, suggestions. Maybe, maybe you'd like a different angle. Now, when that happens, that really sucks because I really have to kind of change everything. I don't want the edge of the foot to be messed up like that. So I'm going to go in on it again, as though I was starting over. So I have a clean foot. Okay, let me see if I can cut into it here. There we go. Oh, here we go. Yes, please describe. I've not used a rib for trimming. Well, let me tell you all about it. Here's the rib. I believe it's just called a trimming rib. It's blue and beautiful. You want to keep it that way as long as you can. Don't get it near water. It rusts like overnight. Okay, and I'll tell you again with the next pot, but I'm at the phase right now where I'm gonna hold it like this. Now, this is a really strong rib. It's rigid. It's not like one of those little flexible metal things. This is a really intense rib, so you gotta get good at holding it like this. I run my hand on the pot like this. I'm gonna cut into it, and this does most of the work here. This move right here is where I trim most of my clay. Now, my pots are there's not that much to trim. So that's also kind of factored in there. But that does the bowl part. And then I'm going to use this little sharp edge. I'm going to use my finger as a guide here and just draw the line and press down and cut in to the same depth as this part. I can see, how deep the foot should be. Then if the pot were dry enough, I just use this and I go like, and it would take out that whole center part of the foot. But when it's wet, I have to use the trimming tool. So it's kind of like the old back and forth with the trimming tool. Nobody's favorite. Well, that's not true. It's probably lots of people's favorite. Probably most people's favorite. Not my favorite. As anybody who's heard me complain about this time after time, it feels very tedious to me to have to use this. But that's all right. I can turn it into a meditation. Come on, turn that stuff around. I turn everything into a meditation. Last night I didn't sleep very much, like maybe just 3 hours. And that's kind of normal for me. But, what do? Lay there and meditate. Whole night of meditation. I'm like a freaking monk over here. I meditated so much at night. I definitely earned monastic status. All right. Just kind of cleaning it up. Yeah. I test it with my finger right there to see if it were really rigid, then I might trim a little bit more out, but I can tell that this is the end. I'm at the end of my trimming of the foot. And then when it is a little bit soft, it often kind of presses the inside of the bowl in and you get a weird little shoulder lump. So I'm just pushing that out. I'm not trimming it, I'm pressing it back into shape. Okay, and there we go. And that's the bowl. So now I have to describe the first part, which I missed before. Hello, Penny. Welcome to the show. Okay, I'm looking for the hardest one I can find. This one feels pretty good. And I'm using a trimming rib, which is not the way many people trim, but it is the way I trim. Oh, I had this, that was a signal to myself. Okay, that was a hard one. Let's see. Yeah, they're both kind of not hard enough, but good enough. Okay, so this is what I'm looking for with these, when I'm trim with a rib, this rib, I'm looking for a pot that when I squeeze the foot, it doesn't budge. You can see here, I think you can see, this one does. It moves. It doesn't move a lot, but it does move. So then I know for this one, I probably am not going to be able to use the rib for the whole foot, but I'll do as much as I can. So I first go down with this part, and I'm going to kind of clean up. See how that's like a little bit messy? I'm going to make that nice and clean. I'm going to go in, I'm going to take out this little ledge there and make it nice and flat. That's my first move. My first ninja trimming move. Ninja trimming. This thing is kind of like a, what do they call it? A Chinese star? I don't think that that's what it's called. Chinese star? A throwing star? It's not going to be Chinese because I think ninjas are Japanese. Okay, anyway. Chinese star? Anyway, does anybody even know what those ninja stars are called? Hello, Betsy. Hi. Okay, so, oh, I forgot to say. Then I went in with the flat part here, or kind of roundish, and I do the bottom. And it's nice because it's round, because you do want to kind of round the center of the bottom out. Okay, then I'm going to go down with the sharp piece right here. I ride my finger on the bowl. I use that index finger as a guide, and I'm going to go straight down and cut the foot. I like to make a foot that I can hold when I'm glazing. It's a really important part of my bowls is that I get to hold the bowl. Oh, wait, I'm working too fast. Now, here's the ninja, where you bend it and you're holding a weapon. This is the the weapon of mass bowl destruction. Watch out, bull. I got you. So, ooh, there's a nice little curly cue. I'm trying to catch some of these really nice curly cues for some reason today. I'm like into them. Okay, so that's where I do most of my trimming is with that part. Gently, carefully unfold this thing. I don't want to be the cause of anybody's early death or losing an eye or something like that, or a small animal or anything. Okay, now I'm going to use my hands riding on the bowl again, and I'm going to use the point to cut the line for the foot, and then once the line is cut, I go down and cut down to this depth-ish. And then if I could, I would use this right now, but it's too soft. It'll just make a mess. So instead, here we go. The meditation. Amy the monk. Hope that noise from the heater isn't annoying. Before, the sound quality seemed really awful when I recorded this earlier. Okay, just clean up the foot, make it look as pretty as possible given the circumstances of maybe having a thin foot. I mean, a thin bottom, not a thin foot. And now I see this and I know I can go deeper here because I've gone deeper inside. So I'll go a little deeper on the outside. And there's my nice, easily holdable foot. One more time, curling the rib and cutting it into it. Yeah, that's nice and thin there too. So now I know that I'm going to have to press it out from the inside because I could just feel, I used my tool and it pressed the foot in. So assign it. I'll put the date, the year, 22. And then here I have to push it back. Okay. I don't have to center this so much. I'm just going to try to get into that one spot where it warped from the trimming and just press it back out. And that's it. And that's it. Oh my gosh, 7 people again. I'm so honored. I can't believe it. 7 whole people. Sometimes I only have one or none. A lot of times it's just me all by myself. So thanks for coming. Okay, let's see if we can find another one. This one, let's see about this one. I started this one before and it was too soft and I gave up. Maybe it's dried out by now. So I already did that side move. It must be dark for you because I can't see it. 9 people? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get nervous. It doesn't make any sense to be more nervous when there's more people. What's the difference? It's just like a lot of single people. I mean, I don't know if you're single or not, but a lot of individual people, let's say. So for those who have just arrived, please let me know if you'd like me to describe what I'm doing or if you are perfectly fine just observing. But what I'm doing is I'm just going to talk about it. I'm trimming with a trimming rib, which is one of my absolute favorite studio tools. I don't use a whole lot of tools, but this one I love. When I do that and I look like I'm like lurching around, it's because I'm looking to see if anybody asked a question. These are progressives and the camera's above me, so it's kind of like when, I don't know if any of you ever try to wear glasses and try to tweeze your eyebrows, but it's like nearly impossible. Way better job for reading glasses than progressives or bifocals. It's like, it's like actually a real problem. I guess there's an easy solution. Don't tweeze your eyebrows or get somebody else to do it. Not that I ever have done a very good job of it, but I have some crazy eyebrows. They go in every direction. So just to not confuse people too much, I think it's like a courtesy to other people. Otherwise, they really can get distracting. All right. Happy if you guys want to talk about your eyebrows too. All right. Just a little bit of a warp inside here from trimming. Let's see. Get it mostly centered and then go in with this edge and just press it down, press it back out. Okie dokie. Okay, what do we got here? This one feels pretty good. Ooh. Ooh, these guys are drying up. Okay, we'll do those 3 right after this one. That'd be a good trick if you could do 3 at once, huh? Good trimming trick. Do you think it would be better if the camera was behind me a little bit instead of like straight on the side? Am I kind of like blocking what I'm doing? Let's try that. Uh-oh. Hello. Like that maybe? Okay. This bowl seems like it had a problem at some point. This is not a normal bowl. It's got some really funky something going on here with the foot. Let's see if we can save it. Sometimes you have to save a bowl when you trim it. I had this crazy thing happen before when I was, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I was trimming the bowl and it wound up like folding in half. Like, I don't know what happened, how it didn't just break, but it like literally almost folded in half like a clam. And I was somehow able to like put it back and kind of get it mostly into round. I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna rewatch that video to see what the heck happened. How did it fold in half? And how did it get straightened out? The whole thing was a one big miracle. What's happening here now? There we go. I also have a very different setup for, well, obviously the wheel, but when I trim versus when I throw, I have a lower stool. I use a different stool. It's a few inches lower. I put the foot pedal on the ground. Normally I throw and I have my foot pedal up on a block. And I'm kind of experimenting with different places to put my left leg, which is the one that my left elbow is currently on. I know it looks like my right leg and my right elbow. I assure you, it's not. I'm trimming here at about 3 o'clock right now. And the bottom has gotten soft. So I have to be careful. And I'll go in with this because of the softness of everything. This bowl is soft. This is a trim with a trimming tool kind of bowl. Oh, that was something I was saying before. I don't know if the people who are on now heard. Collapsible bowl. Totally. I don't know what happened. It was so weird. It was so surprising. I've never seen that happen in my life. Okay. It's pretty cool that I've been making pots for more than half my life. I want to take a little bit more out of here. Collapsible. Okay. This is a little funky. Like I said, something weird happened to this bowl. This bowl's got a history. We gotta get some DNA testing done on this bowl. Where you been, bowl? Alright. We might never know. Again, looking for the hardest one, driest one. These are all slightly disappointingly moist. Not so fun. Like, see this stuff? It just like smushes. It doesn't work. Alright, I think I might be done. I gotta wait a little while. Yep, these are the driest. I'll try one more. Maybe I'm wrong. I said I was going to do these three, and then I picked a different one, but it felt drier. Let's see. Prove me wrong, bowl. Prove me wrong. Yeah, not great. It just gets all like chunky and messy, and it doesn't come off nice and clean if it's wet at all. Yep, I'll do it later. I guess it's time to do something else. But before I do that, I'll show you. Well, first of all, I'll show you this morning I was making these new kinds of bowls that I'm really happy about. This one is a faceted bowl. I taught myself how to do that. And then this one is a stamped bowl, and I taught myself how to do that. And I was really, really happy about these. So I'll be flipping these over now. Let's see. Yeah, they can handle that. Oh yeah, and I also made a small version of the rolled rim bowl, which I'm also very happy about. So this is my classic style, the ones that I've been making. This is just a classic style bowl of mine. I decorate the rims. And I use the clay as part of the decoration, and I love them. Oh, here, well, I can show you. So this isn't a bowl, but this is kind of my style of glazing. And so this is raw clay here, and then I do glaze trailing and one or two colors depending on what I got going on. And then I'll also show you my, so when the bowls are fully trimmed, then I'm trying to loosen this up. Then I stack them up. Can you see that? I stack them up like this. Whoa, I'm like pulling stuff across the room to dry in like a nice little Tetris bowl pyramid, and it's very pleasing to me. I just really like this part of it. So um, foot to foot, rim to rim, and yeah, they dry well that way. There's lots of air and space, and it's really a space conserving way to dry them. So I guess that's it for now, people. Unless you want to hang out and talk while I flip these bowls. Here, might as well. I'll just keep going. And if anybody has anything to say or ask, here I am. Happy to chat a little bit. Oh, let's see. Might not be ready. Okay, here we go. So depending on the bowl, I pull it off the bat in different ways, and these ones will just come off. And I flip them and, oops. I made sure the wheel is turned off, by the way. I double checked. I flip them, and then I also press into the foot a little bit, so it kind of gets me started with that shape. Okay, let me double check. Yes, the wheel's definitely off. Really don't want these guys to go flying. Here's that sweet faceted bowl. Still coming up with, still figuring out. So fun to make new things, different things, especially after doing production for 25 plus years. It's just really nice to do things that are totally new to me that I have never even thought of before. And like they're the kind of pots where I would look at other potters and pots that are kind of like this, that are altered in some way, and I'd be so curious about how they made them, but I didn't know how to ask them, or I was scared to ask them, or I thought it was all secrets, so I just never did. And now I'm like way into YouTube. I'm way into people showing what they do, teaching what they do. I just think it's so cool that people are willing to share their tricks, like me. Oh gosh. Here, I'll put some out here. Yeah. I don't know if you can even see what I'm doing. It's very dark in the studio. I don't know if these things help at all. But a couple more here. This one is pretty wet. Oh my gosh, that's really wet. Okay. Anything else? Looks like I got them all. Every once in a while, I'll like do that, and then there'll be a whole row in the back that I like haven't touched. Oh, and here's one. I threw one serving bowl with some leftover clay this morning. Let's see. Is it cut? Yes. So go like that, and that. And then I need to scrape these all. Just scrape it right into the trimmings. And I'll show you then how I clean my bats. After I get like 4 or 5 of these done, then I put them together and I do the edges, which if you're using a square bat system, it's just kind of a nice time saver. Let's do one more. Take this off for now so I can show you. So that was 4 and 5. And then this is what I do. Oh, that was 4. Let's do 5. Okay, so I've gotten the main clay off, and then I just stack them. I use my scraper to even out one side, and I scrape down and get the goo off that. So then they can fit next time I try to put them into the square bat system. If you have a square bat system, you've probably had this problem before where the stuff accumulates on the sides, and it's kind of hard to do just one. Hard to clean just one. Not hard, but I don't know. More of a pain. It's easier to do a stack of them. Okay. And 5 or 6 more. Yeah. Okay. Body comfortable. Sometimes you gotta dance, you know. A little yoga, a little stretching, a little movement, a little pleasure. Scraper's really nice for lining these up. You don't have to get it all. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it makes a difference to do this. It's taking care of your future self, so your future self has some nice clean bats. Okay. And then I also will not let this get bone dry overnight. I'm going to come back in maybe an hour or so, and hopefully these guys will be more ready to trim. I'm going to have to do some in the morning too. Yep, they got a little ways to go. Oh, here we can make them. So these bowls, so the ones that I just did, these bowls that I just trimmed are now ready to get stacked over here. So I can show you that special thing that I do, stacking the Tetris. Let's see here. I just touch the rim and that helps me line it up. Okay. I have kind of 2 different sizes of bowls here. These are the bigger ones. These are an eighth of a pound bigger than the other ones. And look at that. Wait, I gotta show you. An eighth of a pound bigger. Isn't that crazy? Such a big difference. Huge difference. I was mismeasuring at first. I thought that I was making 3/4 pound bowls, but I was making like whatever, an eighth of a pound more. 7/8 or something. 6/8, 7/8. Yeah, that's it. 7/8. This would be probably a nice like a sped up video is stacking these things. Like that size. I'm happy to go 4 high, but after 4, I get a little nervous because one time I stacked pots like this, foot to foot, rim to rim in a kiln, all the way from the bottom to the top. And when I put the one on at the very top, the whole stack collapsed down. So I don't do that anymore. Now I stick with 4. 4 is good. I don't want that to happen again. Okay, I think we're all trimmed up for now. So thank you for watching. Thank you for coming. And if you want to watch the whole live video, it's on Clay Buddies. Sue, I'm sorry if you just showed up.